The next couple of questions are from Goodfellas 1001. He asks, I would just like to hear your quick thoughts on a few of my favorite movies slash TV shows if you've seen them, leaving out the obvious ones that I know you've seen. Walking Dead, Freaks and Geeks, Chasing Amy, Swingers, and True Romance. I'm afraid that the only one of those I've seen is True Romance, which I think is an excellent movie. Tarantino's writing is just so damn good that you'd think he would have directed the movie himself. If anyone watching hasn't seen that movie, check it out. It's fantastic. I have Chasing Amy on DVD, and it's taken me a long time to get around to seeing it, so I should probably get around to that. What are your thoughts on Star Wars slash George Lucas? Easy question. The original Star Wars trilogy are some of my favorite films of all time. I absolutely adore them. I mean, films really don't get much better than them. The prequels, while I don't hate them as much as other people do, there is a lot they could have improved on, and in the end, they just feel very pointless. I think Revenge of the Sith is very good, but the first two are very mediocre. As for George Lucas, I love him for the fact that he's given the world Star Wars, but I hate his attitude that he has that you have to keep updating the original trilogy, and I dislike the way he seems to just milk the Star Wars series rather than continue making original films. His recent retirement really didn't have any impact on me at all. Overall, my opinion on him is mostly negative. Thanks for your questions. Least Liked Critic 75 has two questions. He asks, what superhero film are you looking forward to in 2012? The Avengers, The Dark Knight Rises, The Amazing Spider-Man. Out of those, that'd be The Dark Knight Rises. I mean, Christopher Nolan directing a sequel to Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. Awesome. I mean, I'm dying to see that movie. Uh, the Amazing Spider-Man, even though I was completely against the idea, and I still am in many ways, you know, I am confident that it is going to be a good movie. The Avengers, I haven't, okay, I could be wrong in this, but I think it was like a collaboration with all the Marvel characters, like Iron Man and the Hulk and Thor. But the thing is, I haven't really seen all of the films about those characters. Like, I haven't watched Captain America or Thor yet. I do plan to, mind you. It's just, I'm not that excited for the Avengers, but I will see it. What TV character annoys you the most? I'm really not sure. I don't watch enough TV to really have an opinion on that, so sorry, but I don't really have an answer. Thanks for your questions, though. This final set of questions is from Diehard Alien. He has 5 questions. What are your most anticipated films of 2012 and why? The Hobbit. This is because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan and I've been eager to see another movie set in Middle Earth, directed by Peter Jackson since Return of the King came out for a very, very long time. Django Unchained because it's directed by Quentin Tarantino and pretty much everything he makes is fantastic, even though I'm not really that big of a fan of Jackie Brown, but most of all, usually his films are fantastic. And I'm sure most people would agree with me on this, but The Dark Knight Rises. I'm a big fan of Christopher Nolan, and I love the first 2 Batman films he made, so naturally I'm eager for the third one. What's your least favorite film of all time and why? I've kind of already answered that, but Battlefield Earth, epic movie, Garbage Pail Kids, and Battle Los Angeles. They're simply just awful films. What are your favorite movie soundtracks? Cool question, man. I like the soundtracks of Once Upon a Time in America, Schindler's List, Pulp Fiction, the Rocky series. Every individual movie kind of has a slightly different soundtrack. I mean, the first 2 and the last 2 kind of have the similar orchestrated Bill Conti soundtrack, whereas the soundtracks for Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 are very much rock soundtracks, and well, I like the soundtracks for all the movies, so give them a listen. I like the soundtrack for The Breakfast Club, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and Taxi Driver. What are your least favorite Steven Spielberg movies? I haven't seen all his films yet, but my least favorites are War of the Worlds, which I saw many years ago and thought it was mediocre. I wasn't a die-hard fan of Munich, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, or The Color Purple, but they are still good movies. I do need to give Close Encounters a rewatch though. Out of all the videos you've done, which ones are you most proud of and why? That'd be my 6-part series on my top 30 favorite films of all time. I don't think I'll ever do a video series better on this channel. Thanks for your questions, man, and take care.